Alright, we are back for yet another video. Last week we did our divisional week recap and rankings. This week we will be doing our championship recap or well, not recap, but rankings.
So if you haven't seen last week, hit the big red button below. Alright, so as usual, we're going to begin with the quarterback position. We only have 4 players because there's only 4 teams left. So we go Carson Palmer, Cam Newton, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning.
Now, Cam Newton, we haven't really talked about him much this season simply because he's been known, you know.
It's been good all season.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to knock him on, and there's good stuff to talk about, though. He is the leader of the Panthers, led them to 15 wins, only 1 loss. So that talks volume in and of itself.
Yep.
And I think he will do decent job against the Cardinals. I think it will be a tough matchup, though. So
we still think the Cardinals are going to prevail as the victors.
All right, running backs this week we only have 6. It starts off with David Johnson from Arizona, Jonathan Stewart from Carolina, James White from New England, C.J. Anderson and Ronnie Hillman from Denver, and then Steven Jackson from New England.
We have James White at 3. You may be wondering why is he that high on our list, really. It's because he catches a lot of passes out of the backfield. All the guys just below him are just standard, you know, hit the gap and just run over people.
Yeah.
But James White is a really elusive guy, so expect Tom Brady to throw the ball to him a lot in pressure situations. Alright, so we're going to follow this list up with the wide receivers. We'll begin with Larry Fitzgerald like we did last week. And you can follow him up with Julian Edelman, Michael Floyd, Demaryius Thomas, and Jericho Cotchery.
Now we can finish out the list with Emmanuel Sanders, John Brown, Ted Ginn Jr., Danny Amendola, and Benny Fowler.
Now, Fowler is a newcomer to our list from Denver. He had 4 targets from Peyton last week, but only had 2 receptions. He dropped a pass, I think. But he showed a lot of growth and promise from what he did produce. So look for Peyton to go to him more often against the Patriots this week.
Now, I also wanted to highlight Michael Floyd from Arizona. He will most likely be their number 2 receiver going into the game. And he will have to go up against Robert McClain, which I do believe he can exploit the weakness they have at the left cornerback spot in McClain. So expect him to get a decent amount of points there. Okay, at tight ends this week, we start off with Rob Gronkowski. Then we go to Greg Olsen, Owen Daniels, and Darren Fells.
We have Greg Olsen number 2 behind Gronk, just because Olsen is a solid option for Cam Newton anytime during the game. He had a pretty impressive touchdown last week against the Seahawks, so expect his production to continue this week against Arizona. Alright, so our defensive segment of this video begins with Arizona, Carolina, Denver, and New England.
Now, Arizona and Carolina are number 1 and 2 on our list. We think that matchup will end up being a defensive showdown. However, I do think a decent amount of points will be scored. So look for them to get mostly of their points from like interceptions and turnovers more than anything else.
Kuechly had a pick 6 last week, so he could still be improving this week.
Alright, now kickers, we start off with Steven Gostkowski, Brandon McManus, Graham Gano, and Chandler Catanzaro.
Now, we have McManus at 2. He kicked 5 field goals against the Steelers last week, and I think one of them ended up being the game winner. So, even if Denver doesn't score a whole lot of touchdowns, he'll score a lot of points because they stole out at like the 30 and 25 a lot last week.
And don't forget, people, kickers are people too.
Alright, that was Football in 5. Thank you for watching. We deliver our fantasy news in 5 minutes to us because who wouldn't want to watch a 30-minute video on this topic?
Amen.
This was our AFC and NFC Championship Week rankings, so we will not have a video next week because it's the Pro Bowl, but we'll see you back in 2 weeks.
Now, we wanted to highlight one of our teams for the playoff challenge. We have the team with all Arizona Cardinals and all Kansas City Chiefs players. Now, obviously, the Chiefs are no longer in it, so we're going to replace all of the Chiefs players with most likely either Arizona or Patriots players.
Yeah.
We think it'll be Patriots versus Arizona because Peyton Manning can't win against Tom Brady. It's been proven. And we are going to have triple points for the Cardinals players, so we're looking to win a trip to Super Bowl
51.
51 or
So,
Lee.
Yeah. So wish us luck, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.